A lovely welcome home. Once upon a time, the Fairy Queen had worked so hard that the king had decided to take her away to stay by the Dream Sea. She was so dreadfully tired that he kept her there all the summer. "But what will my fairies do without me to help them?" she kept saying.
"Never mind that," said the king. "They must get on somehow or other, and you must have a long rest."
Of course, all the fairies in Fairyland missed her very much. It seemed very strange not to have someone in the palace who was ready to listen to them or to see what work they were doing. "When is our queen coming back?" they asked the palace fairies. "She's coming back in 2 weeks," they answered joyfully. "We had a letter this morning, brought by a peacock butterfly." "Hooray, hooray!" shouted the fairies, and they flew off all over Fairyland as fast as they could to spread the good news. "We must do something lovely to welcome her home again," said the chief fairies. "We'll hold a great meeting about it." So a meeting was held in the biggest hall of the palace, and hundreds of fairies came. "The queen is coming home through the green beech wood, along the blackberry lanes, through the dewy field, and then up the palace gardens," said the Lord High Chamberlain of Fairyland. "We will polish all our dewdrops most beautifully and hang them on the grasses," said the fairies who lived in the dewy field. "And we'll go and ask the blackberries to grow very black and sweet, so when the queen comes along she may pick some for herself," cried the lane fairies, flying off at once. "The rose trees will grow their very best roses," said the palace gardeners joyfully, "and perhaps the dear queen will pick one for her buttonhole." "See that a glorious supper is prepared for her majesty," commanded the Lord High Chamberlain, turning to the fairy cooks. "Yes, yes, yes," cried the cooks. "We'll make a super sugar cake, shaped just like a castle, and a pudding with jam on top and ice cream underneath." Only the wood fairies said nothing. "What will you do to welcome back the queen?" asked the Lord High Chamberlain. "We don't know," they answered sadly. "The trees have lost their beautiful fresh spring green, and they look tired and dark now it's autumn." "Couldn't you brighten them up a bit?" asked the Chamberlain. "Why don't you hang some flags in them?" "Oh, they wouldn't like that," said the wood fairies, "but we'll go and ask them." Off they flew to the beech wood. They told the trees that the queen was coming home in 2 weeks and made them most excited about it. They waved their branches about as they talked. "What can we do to welcome her back?" they asked. "I've got an idea," suddenly said a wood fairy, "but I don't know if you'd like it." "Tell us," begged the beech trees. "Well, you're dusty and dark green now," said the fairy, "but if you let us paint you a happy colour, you'd look lovely." "Oh, do, said the trees. "Oh, I don't think we could do that," said the chief fairy. "The paint would make all your leaves look lovely, but it might kill them too and make them drop off." "We wouldn't mind, even if it hurt us," said all the trees. "We love the queen, and we'd do anything to make things beautiful when she came home." "All right," answered the wood fairies. "We'll go and get some gold brown paint for you." They flew off at once and mixed some beautiful gold brown paint. They told the lane fairies what they were going to do with it. "What a splendid idea," they said. "We'll ask the blackberries if they'd like their leaves painted red. We're sure that they would." The idea spread all through the woods and lanes and hedges. The wood fairies were very busy. They sat up in the beech trees and painted every leaf a lovely golden brown. The lane fairies made the blackberry brambles perfectly beautiful with red leaves, and all the other trees, oak, hawthorn and elm, begged to be painted too. On the day that the queen was expected home, Fairyland looked simply glorious. The beechwood was a waving glory of gold, the other trees shone red, brown or yellow, and as for the creeper over the palace wall, well, it almost made you blink to look at it. It was such a brilliant red. As the queen journeyed home, she could hardly believe her eyes. "What has happened to all the trees?" she cried. "How beautiful they are! What have the wood fairies been doing?" "They've painted our leaves," whispered the trees proudly. "But that will soon make your leaves fall off," said the queen. "They'll grow in again in the spring," answered the trees, as one of the gold-brown leaves fluttered down for the queen to tread on. "And we don't mind, if only you're pleased and happy." "Oh, it's a lovely homecoming," cried the queen, "and everything does look so wonderfully beautiful." Don't you think we could always make things look like this in autumn?" "Yes, let's!" cried all the fairies and all the trees. "We'd love to!" So every year, directly the autumn comes, the beeches and the blackberry bushes, the oaks and the creepers are all painted in gold and brown, red, yellow and orange, just as they were ages ago when the fairy queen was welcomed home from the dream sea.